Hi guys, it's Usernamekate. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in sunny Spain and I am going to be riding a lot of the CF Motos, but in this video I'm going to focus particularly on the 700 CLX range. Now we have three variants. We have the Heritage, we have the Sport, and we have their newest edition, which is the Adventure. So we're going to be hopping on them and I'm just going to be sharing with you guys some specs, some stats, and basically how they all feel in comparison with each other, and ultimately what my favourite one is. So if you're interested in that, stay watching and I'll see you after the intro. Oh, look at this baby. So guys, this is the first time on the 700 CLX Adventure. Oh, she's got a nice little growl to her. Okay, sounds good. So we have Tim here, and this is a 700 CLX Sport. Got a nice eager clutch. So this is the Heritage. We've got Tim on the Sport and I'm on the Adventure, which very much looks like this. But yeah, I'm interested to see which one I prefer. I love the sound of this parallel twin. Sheesh. It's quite nice because I have the two 700s in front, so you can really see what they look like from the back. So guys, to talk about the 700 CLX range, they all share the same 700 engine. We have a parallel twin, and I know a lot of you are aware that it is derived from the Kawasaki ER6 engine. I've had a few people say that CF Moto have cloned the engine, but ultimately it was just a business deal that Kawasaki agreed to. So there's no, underhandedness, offhandedness that people imply sometimes. It's just like everything, it's a business transaction, see? Oh, I love the sound of this bloody 700. It's so good. It feels nice to stand up on. So going back to the engine, we've got 73 horses, we've got 61 Newton meters of torque, and like I said, it is that, Kawasaki ER6 derived engine, which is a 650, but it's bored out to 693. So to give you a bit of background with my experience with CF Moto, I have ridden the 700 CLX Heritage before, so it is my first time on the Adventure. Now, what are you getting with the Adventure that is different? So with the Adventure, you get this lovely tall screen. You get some proper high up, adventure bike style handlebars. You get spoked wheels for that adventure bike aesthetic. Sounds meaty with the standard exhaust, honestly. Yeah, so you get the spoked wheels, you get an off-road mode, you've got awesome looking number boards at the side. Oh, that pickup sound, gorgeous. Wow. It's a really characterful bike to ride. We've got a 13 litre tank that is shared across the whole 700 CLX range. We've got 6-speed gearbox. Oh, maybe a mesh jacket was a little bit brave this early in the morning. We have an adventure style beak or fender. Now I would have potentially expected a taller seat height than the other model variants in the 700 CLX range, but it shares the same seat height as the Heritage, which is a modest 800mm. Oh, the lights look wicked. So that is actually what I'm on. I really can't wait to get this bike up into the twisties. It should be good fun. So we're doing a nice 70 mile an hour. That screen is kind of nice. So yeah, another cracking thing about the 700 CLX variants, cruise control. It's on the left hand side, and this has 2 modes which you can do at a flick of a button. It's currently in street, you can flick it to off-road. Excellent. That was good. So the dash, you've got a circular LCD dash. It's got the basic information. You've got your revs around the outside, you've got your fuel at the bottom, you've got your gear indicator, and you've got your kilometres an hour in our case at the minute. It's quite funny, I keep looking down and thinking I'm doing 6,106 kilometres an hour. I knew that I liked the 700 bike when I tested it in the Heritage form, so I'm not surprised. I'm really enjoying this one. Slipper clutch, nice touch. It's such a simple thing, but it's really nice to have. So guys, we've just stopped and we're getting ready to do a little bit of a photo opportunity. I'm still on the 700 CLX Adventure, so I'm quite looking forward to getting some nice photos on this bike. I love how they put the photographer on the tightest hairpin ever. So guys, I'm back now on the 700 CLX Heritage. So this is the first original CLX that CF Moto brought out. Then came the Sport, and then came the Adventure. Now I've actually just learned something pretty cool about the Adventure before I focus all my time and energy in the Heritage. Now I figured something out pretty cool about the Adventure. Oh, this is so flowy. So one cool thing that I learned about the Adventure in front is it has an off-road mode, and I thought that was just, oh look at the views. I just thought that was something that they put on there to, you know, maybe adapt the throttle response to a more off-road riding style. I didn't think they'd done anything with regards to the ABS, but on that model specifically in this range, you can switch the ABS off completely, which is very helpful for an adventure style bike. Lots of hairpins, sheesh. We've got flatter bars. Oh wow, the views. It's distracting. Very distracting. I can like feel the altitude getting to the bikes a bit. So the Heritage feels just more of like a town bike, like just your generic, comfortable sit-up bike. You know, you're nowhere near as set up as on the Adventure because you have the taller bars with that. The Heritage weighs 196 kilograms. Oh, this is a nice little path. A bit chilly up in the sky. Wow, these views! Oh. I wonder if we're going to the top. But yeah, I love the sound of the Heritage. The brakes again on this one, we've got J1 calipers. This bloody car again. Oh god, that makes me feel sick. Looking to the right, don't look to the right, don't look. Oh god, I look to the right, but it's so mesmerising. It's like the intrusive thoughts of one. Just don't go where you look, don't go where you look. Oh my days. It makes me sick because I just know there's such a big drop. Oh wow, oh my gosh. It's like we're literally in God's playground here, heaven's playground with that high up. Oh my days. Right at the top. Sheesh, still another hairpin. You don't end. Is that snow? Is that ice? That's snow and ice. Damn. Oh my, this is incredible. Wow, this is ridiculous. This is actually insane. It's absolutely breathtaking. I have to say, I prefer going down the hairpins, that's for sure. The handling capabilities on the CLXs are pretty darn good, you know. Pretty darn good. It's a very confidence-inspiring bike in the bends. Put it in second for this. When you put it in second and then you want to like gradually put the power on, sometimes the throttle can be like, hello! Brakes so far have proven themselves pretty responsive. I do like the brakes on this. J1, you are delivering! Especially for a bike at this price as well compared to its competitors. It's so nice when you can see so far ahead and you just know that you're safe. Oh, look at these! Oh, these are my kind of roads all over, and the Heritage is just taking it in its stride. It's just absolutely bossing it. bad boy. Oh, this is just crazy. Look. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying this ride. Oh, I've got so much faith in these tyres, it's unreal. Like, so much faith. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Look. Oh, these roads are literally just what I live for. Absolutely what I live for. And what better way than on a punchy twin? A punchy ass twin. Gotta love it. Glorious experience, that. The highlight of the year thus far. Oh, there were some tasty roads them. Oh! God damn it, I will get him back. It's got workable power that, you know, it's still absolutely enough to have fun, but it's also like you can work it, you can feel accomplished. Which I really like. It's loud when you whack it on, but it's one of those bikes that you can be an experienced rider and have fun on it, but you can also be quite a newbie, and it's not going to bite you, it's going to facilitate your riding journey, your learning. Because it's just pleasant. It's just also pleasant and flowy and handles great. You can go your own way. Get ready, go on. Look alive. Well guys, we're about to set off from our photo point. I would have had a camera on the front, but there is nowhere to put it because the Sport has clip-ons. So we have a more sporty, aggressive riding position than on the Adventure and the Heritage. We've also got these beautiful, nice bar and mirrors, which look very neo-cafe. We've got some carbon fibre effect here. And yeah, from the view of the cockpit, it looks pretty sporty. We've got sport mode, we've got cruise control. So yeah, a few bits and bats on this. Again, fully adjustable front suspension on this. Off we go. It does sound good, this bike, I will give it that. So the Sport, what are we working with? We're working with a neo sport aesthetic, which is like sport cafe racer aesthetic almost. The sound is gorgeous. We have a 17-inch front as opposed to the 18 that's on the Adventure and the Heritage. the 700 CLX, whoa! The 700 CLX Sport comes with dual discs on the front, whereas the Adventure and the Heritage only have a single disc. And the Adventure and the Heritage have J1 or J1 brakes, calipers should I say. And the Sport is the only one of the range that has Brembo Stylema calipers. It's got them on the front and it's got them on the rear too. Cheeky. Right, so, sheesh, the brakes are like ridiculously powerful. They could almost get you into a bit of trouble if you're absolutely gunning it very spiritedly and you whack the brake on, because the initial bite is so freaking strong that, yeah, you need to be a bit more on the ball with this one when it comes to riding and braking. Like, I'm utilising a fair bit of back brake because the front brake is so strong. Yeah, these are hairpins that you don't really want to get wrong. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I ride this slower because of how intense the brakes are. I mean, I almost feel like this is a little bit over braked, like maybe a bit overkill for all the other technology that it's working with, you know, like the suspension, the chassis. I'm not quite sure there's a need for the brakes to be this intense. Yeah, I definitely, ironically, can't ride the Sport as fast as I can ride the Adventure or the Heritage. As I'm sure it's pretty clear, I had a wicked time throwing these bikes around the twisties of Almeria. To start with the 700 CLX Adventure, I was super excited to ride this, being the newest variant. What I really liked about it was its screen, made motorway riding a lot more comfortable. I also really aesthetically liked the spoke wheels as well as the beak. Now, if I was CF Moto, I would have called it a scrambler as opposed to an adventure, because I feel like it does kind of give off Ducati scrambler aesthetics. But I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I like the fact that the off-road mode is an actual off-road mode and you do have the option to switch off the ABS. I thought it would just be a Billy bog standard throttle response and that's your lot, but you can actually disengage the ABS, which makes off-roading much more plausible on this bike. I feel like if you did want to take it on the gravelly tracks, it might be wise trying to see if they do some kind of sump plate or bash guard, because the twin pipes at the front are pretty exposed for something that has adventure in the title. But to be quite honest, it was one of my favourite bikes of the day. I really liked the riding position, I liked how sit up and beg it was, and I also liked the fact that you had great leverage on the twisty hairpins. Moving on to the Heritage, I knew I'd like this bike, I've ridden it before. It just sounds awesome and it is just a really fun roadster to nip about town on, nip around the country lanes on. So yeah, totally expected to have fun on this one as well. Moving on to the Sport, now I was super curious about this bike because it looks incredible. As you can see from the GoPro point of view, from the front it looks all very aggressive when you look down at that cockpit with the clip-ons, and you know, there's not much in front of you. I love the styling, I think it looks futuristic, I think it looks progressive. This bike I was really looking forward to riding, and unfortunately it was my least favourite variant to ride. Now on paper it looked like it should have been the best, with the Brembo calipers front and rear, but one thing that I found it to be was over braked and probably under damped. I don't want to dog this bike too much and I would like to test ride it on a longer term basis, because throughout the 700 variants we have fully adjustable KYB suspension on the forks, and I feel like if I could just have a play around with those, it might make the ride a little bit less bum twitchy. I say that because on the roads with the other two variants, the J-Juan or J-Juan calipers were excellent. You could really grab a fistful of that front brake and it would give you enough so that you could stop and slow down fast enough, but it wasn't over keen like on the Sport. With the Sport, the twin discs, with the Brembos, you would brake and literally it would want to stand you up even if you had the slightest lean angle. And to be quite honest, on a ride where you're stonking along, it's quite unnerving and a little bit scary and sketchy at times. But like I say, a few tweaks of the suspension and I'd like to see if I could overcome this issue that I had with the bike. Other weird little things that I found throughout the variants. There's a strange, weird, extra little kick of power that comes in really high in the rev range. You don't really know when you're quite going to get it and it's not very predictable, but it is just a little bit strange and I did feel it more on the Sport. And I also feel like the engine is perhaps a little bit flatter than the current modern day parallel twins. We have a lot of 270-degree cranks out there, which makes a parallel twin a little bit spicier, a little bit crisper in my opinion. But for the price of these bikes and the money, I don't really think that it's too much of an issue because you can still have stonking amounts of fun on these bikes. Guys, if you've ridden these, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favourite, adventure, heritage or sport. I know that mine was adventure and I can't wait to get on it more in the future. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you have, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys and girls on the next one. Take care. Bye.